Hello Disc Golf family, and welcome back to round 2 coverage of the Makaripi tournament at Rotorua, presented by RPM Discs, sponsored by Garage Project, and of course produced by T-Box Media. I'm Jack Brennan, and with me in the combox, Anthony Rodgers.
Kia ora. How's it?
Good. Look at that dog.
Just having a good old time. Yeah, on the card today we got Jackson Sullivan, first round, killing it with a 10-13 rated round. Just 7 under, leading the way. Good old Takapoo in hand.
Second up on the card, Mario. Birdies 4, bogeys 1, 3 under for the round, 977 rated. Mario's a great guy to play on. He was confessing to us that he has not been playing much golf, so well done to him.
Third on the card here, from the players' booth all the way onto the field. What a putt that was! Goodness. 3 down on the first round. 977 is pretty good, man. You're already playing above your rating.
And finishing off the card, Mark Dakiv. Same amount of birdies, 3, but 3 bogeys coming up. It's taking him down to 1 under for the round. He'll be looking to improve that score a little bit. But rounding off a very RPM heavy card.
Yeah, man. Whilst at Makaripi, definitely a good bag to go with. Hole 1, start us off here. Soft par 4, 132 meters. It is drivable. Want to look for pushing hyzer. Something stands up and comes back at the end. Or else just get yourself to the bright area for a decent upshot.
At 132 meters, this hole is eagleable, and no one better to do it than this guy here.
Yeah, he's got a XG in his hands. This blue one will be throwing all day. It's gorgeous. Kahu really pushing. He's perennially really good at this hole. This one and 2, I've seen him birdie and eagle a few times. So, Silver Fox, look at him, looking great in that RPM top.
Mario hitting the gap as well nicely. Didn't quite have the same power as Jacko, and he finds himself by that tree, but he'll have a lean out looking.
What are you ripping on here, Jake?
I feel like I haven't been throwing the disc too well, so I just disked down a little bit to a mid-range, and I tried to play safe, but it didn't
just
work
a little
out.
too safe. Yeah.
Just a little too.
And if I know Mark, that's probably a pink Kahu. Just ripped over a little bit too far, but I reckon he's just playing to the shadows today, trying to keep himself out of the trees.
So I was a little confused on the shot. I didn't really know what to throw. I haven't actually tried this before, but yeah, we'll see.
She definitely was stable, though. That's for sure.
It gives me a little look there. We'll see what happens after that.
Yeah. Mario's one of the best at this shot alone. Just this is a Ruru. I like to throw something a little bit more stable on my forehand up shots, but he just can throw this nose up. You'll see that all day. He just throws this nice little nose up pop into the circle. Mark's going to follow him with the same kind of shot.
Oh, very close there to the basket, just overshooting it a bit. For eagle.
Just short, but that'll be a tap-in birdie for him. Good way to start off your second round. Did you get a chance to go out for a couple warm-up putts before the second round, or are you just nice and cold?
Yeah, by that one you kind of, you might say it does look a bit cold. No, it just didn't feel like it was coming out right, and I think I was a bit nervous on lead card. A few big names there. A few big fellas.
Yeah, Mario proceeds to tap out. He's probably a little closer than Mark was.
Yeah, I mean, these guys here were playing disc golf well before I started, so to be on the card with them, it's almost kind of like, do I get their signature?
Mark,
we do that later, maybe.
Mark might have been playing before you were born, bro. I mean, you are a young lad, so.
So even this tap in, we're just taking a bit of time with.
Oh man, it's good for you though. Honestly, every putt means the same. So there's nothing wrong with being nice and confident when you have that stroke. And again, I like those blue Takapus that Jackson switched to.
Well done. So our lead card playing the hole 2 under. So here we go, hole 2, once again straight shot, 86 metres, low ceiling. The mistake here is to finish left. What you want to do is punch straight, something that holds for about 70 of those and then finishes hard left and skips up the tunnel. If you give yourself a circle's edge putt, you're doing pretty well on this one. I think it's one of the really tough gets. I only seen a couple of birdies all weekend on this hole.
Yeah, well, it's definitely not the distance. It's just the low ceiling in this first initial gap.
Yeah, Jackson making the common mistake there, hyzering out just a little bit early.
It's one or the other, right? You either over hyzer it or you try and pop it a little too far right. And this is Mario's hole.
Turning the cameraman, that's doing something right. Wow, that's just how you draw it up.
That's the one. Maybe not the one, but you did get through the left side, so you will have a bit of an anti-flick to try and get up and down. And this is one of the best runs of Pekka Pekka. You'll see this being thrown by both Mario and Mark all day. The mint Pekka Pekka is the one, bud. So take us through this one. We got back to the fairway.
Just trying to proceed forward.
There you go. Jackson with a little Kia upshot. Getting within putting range. Mark's been known to knock a few of these down in his day.
Just the safe part.
You gave it a good, honest try, though, that's for sure.
At least you're trying, right? Even though you're taking bogeys.
Yeah, well, it's one of those things. There's two different philosophies. Either you give yourself a chance or you just put it under the bucket. So
Mario for 2.
only 2 on the card. And even though Simon's not with us, Yvette made the run as well. At least for a few holes. Likes herself some good looking golf. Good tap in, bud.
Yeah, how important do you think getting away to a hot start is in a tournament when you're trying to chase and you're trying to make up a few shots?
Yeah, well, I think it's good to let the likes of Jackson and Mario know that you're still there. They're not really worried about what you're doing per se. But yes, if you're birdieing those, at least you're heading in the right direction. But hole 3, 112 meters here, very reachable. The idea is to either have a pushing hyzer flip or turn something stable over and have it come back on this right hand side. If you do hyzer out early, you can often have a backdoor look on the backside.
Mario with the tee box after his recent 2.
I think he's going mid. And he had the shape right, just didn't give it enough.
Yeah, just outside circle 2.
But Jackson's going with the same Katuku.
Yeah, when you've got an arm like Jacko, you can throw a mid 112 meters. Must be nice, eh?
Yeah, those Katukus, though, they pop up real nice, and you just put them on the line, they'll run for you. Especially that strata run he's got, or could be magma. And again, mint peka-pekas just go straight, mate. What are you ripping on here?
This is an Insanity from MVP discs. I recently switched to throwing a bit more MVP, just for some reason, I don't know.
Oh, yeah? Well, it sounds like it's the thing to do these days. And off the tee, we didn't know where this one went, right?
It was well short. And it's just a routinely pitch in there.
That was a great pitch up, though. Let me guess. Berg?
Yeah, it's not really the start that I was looking for, but I haven't thrown it away yet. Mario's making a pretty good push here. Just letting Jacko know he's only a few shots behind.
Gives that a good nudge.
I think it's good with someone like the likes of Jacko. He's been at the top for so long, and then Mario comes out of nowhere and, puts a bit of pressure on him.
Oh, definitely not out of nowhere. Mario's been a perennial favorite for a long time. He just goes back and forth between Europe, and we love to see him back on the NZ Tour. All business here. Jackson for 2.
Good putt.
I think he's going to have to start a new Takapu's love change as opposed to Tui's love chains, because the Takis look good.
Right, here we go, and par 4, 126 meters. So a little bit of a tight gap off the tee here. Then shooting the gap. You want to keep that pretty low and something that skips up. I think the mistake is finishing out hard left, but anything that you can throw 120, 115 straight, I think you're going to give yourself a putt. What's Jackson ripping on here?
I think it's that same blue Kahu XG. Again, the newest run of these XGs is just beautiful. He gives it a little bit of ante out of the hand, and it's still got enough to pop forward. Probably be just stymied there, sitting there in circle 1. Mario's just switched from, he used to throw quite a few Colossus and a few other sort of Innova drivers, and ripping on, I think, fully Kahus now. For his drives. I don't know that he's even dipped into the XG bag yet. I think he's just throwing propers. This is another Kahu XG out of Mark's hands. This purple run's just beautiful.
Just gets over on that one a little bit.
Yeah, it just kind of turfs it. You can see here he was putting a little extra sauce in it.
Very strong RPM card today. I felt all the guys are sort of feeding off each other, and they're all sort of throwing the same discs, and
then you step up and smash a destroyer.
Yeah, I'm not unhappy with being over there. I had to give myself a little bit of a putt.
No, it's great. You definitely got into the backside. Probably have to do a little bit of putting yoga, but I think this is a Tui out of Mark. Just a beautiful, beautiful shot. I think that's actually the Rotorua run from a tournament about 10, 12 years ago. And again, Mario, that touch on that Ruru up shot, just beautiful. Have you ever seen the Hebenheimer before?
Jacko's about to show us.
Oh,
I wonder if he practices that.
I imagine he's done it a time or two, whether
Yeah,
it's just
something...
taking a little bit of money on the putting course, but who would you say you modeled your putting stroke after?
I don't think anyone putts as awkward as I do. It can't be a thing. I wonder if anyone at home feels like they putt with such a smooth action and they ever see how awkward and nervous they look on camera, and it's just never the same as what's going on in the mind. It's what's happening outside the body. But yeah, Interesting.
It's kind of like hearing your voice on a phone call or what have you as well for the first time. You're like, is that really how I sound?
Especially when you play with someone as smooth as Mark and you're thinking like, yeah, I throw smooth like that too, and nope.
It could have taken at least a decade to get to smooth, though. He probably was awkward once upon a time. But
Yeah, younger Mark, vintage Mark.
all right, popping on to hole 5. Another par 4, 150 meters. This is a giant L shape. So you want to get yourself about 80, 90 meters forward and then hyzer right into where the sun is here, just leaving yourself a straight shot into the well-guarded basket. About 40 or 50 meters from the basket, you've got low-hanging foliage, so you got to be penetrating nice and low on your second. What were you thinking on this one?
I was thinking don't hit the Mando on the left, make the gap on hyzer. So...
Well, the old adage is never tell yourself what not to do, right? Always tell yourself what to do. Lovely pushing hyzer.
Such a fun shot to throw. It's just a shot that you practice on the field a lot, and then to execute it in the tournament, it's kind of a good feeling. I imagine it would be.
The rather unconventional but working well low hyzer out of Mario. Let's see if Mark, he looks like he's looking to the sky, so.
What's your thoughts on the high line versus the low line on this one? What are you throwing here?
I like the high because I'm trying to get back left. I think low has an opportunity to just go flat and straight. Flat and straight works, but it leaves you with this 90 meter straight shot as opposed to getting yourself to a 70 meter hyzer. But yeah, whatever you're feeling on the day. Looks like he's going to Annie forehand. It's unconventional for Mark. He usually, you see him go with the real smart play. But and we talked this one over, didn't we? During the round.
Yeah, it was just a bit of a hyzer flip. I don't really ever throw that, but yeah, just specifically from a standstill as well. So just trying to be inventive on the course. I feel like it makes you do that a lot. It puts you in positions where you just throw shots you don't normally throw.
Great upshot by Mark, giving it a chance. And that'll get up and down for par.
Pins it.
Again, the scramble is huge on this course. Just your scramble skills can either, yield you more birdies or at least assure you don't take the unneeded bogeys. Beautiful upshot with a Kia from Jackson.
I'm going to say it right now. I think Mark Dakiv has probably got one of the best scramble games in New Zealand disc golf. He manages to put it close to the pin from just about anywhere.
Just didn't look like it was a very confident putt. Whether it was something in his line of sight or what have you.
Yeah, this is the first real mistake of the round, so we'll let him have one.
Hey ladies and gents, don't forget to hit the like button and assure that you subscribe to T-Box Media. Really looking at getting ourselves over 1,000 here in the near future.
Here we go, hole 6, par 3, 75 metres. So you've got to take on, if you want to, the tight gap here, shooting through the trees. Or what a lot of players will do is they'll play out left with a forehand and skip hard right at the end. I think the mistake is just getting caught up in one of these trees early. But if you beat the trees, you'll give yourself a putt.
Now I see you're going with a ballista. Do you just like to go a bit faster disc for your forehands, or do you have anything in the fairway range? Or?
Well, to be honest, I'm not a forehand player, so ballista's one of my 2 forehand discs.
Sweet.
And the other one doesn't go as far.
Well, as Mario's shown already, he is proficient at his forehand, so beautiful Kahu, nice and parked.
Wow.
This was odd. I felt like on the day, I would have thought that Jackson would go Kotari forehand, but apparently I'm just feeling the backhand these days. And I see why.
Obviously, you can't argue with that result.
Not at all. Yeah. No, just that right amount of ante with a nice stable disc. I'm sure that was probably a Katuku.
Mark just trying to follow Jacko's line.
He was inches away from being on the same vapor trail, honestly. He's already showed us this trick once or twice today.
Just draw your attention to the man in the background of that shot there. It was the bagman Anthony Rodgers, just making the most of the hot summer weather.
Hey man, I gotta do it any way that I can, so figured I'd come. This was your first run around the track, so figured I'd try to help as much as possible. You already got yourself on lead card, didn't need much help, but...
Thank you, appreciate it.
I'd like to say that I talked you into the forehand on this one, even though that you didn't feel that you were proficient at it, but looks as if you went alright.
It's okay. Thank you.
Nice tap in there, Mario.
2 birdies on the hole, that's impressive. Well
Mario, hot start, already sitting 4 down.
Yeah, he's closed the gap 1 on Jacko. Still kept that to 3.
And Mark is continuing the par train. His scores look like they're matching his shirt on the day. Should have worn a little bit more green, I think.
Consistent, yeah.
Hole 7, 106 meters. Honestly, you just want to get yourself out to that sunny area, whether you can pipe a forehand that ends up finishing right. We saw Joshua Parada in the last round pipe a forehand, or just throw whatever you can throw 100 meters straight. Just reside in that sunny area and not test this Scion nursery on your right hand side.
It's such a lovely shot. Like if you came down to the park and you seen that tunnel and you had your disc golf bag, you'd probably unload your bag down the tunnel and throw
one of each.
Yeah, everything at it.
And again, maybe that's just a product of not having thrown one yet in the round. You know what I mean? Again, I feel like it's the play on this hole. You're going to show us the backhand. Just not enough to turn out of the hand.
And Mark just getting over on his pecker there. And getting an excellent kick. That's going to leave him a pretty easy upshot.
Back to the well. I swear you should have just thrown that off the tee. You'd have been fine, mate.
It doesn't go 106. Not yet.
I'm sure it does. Jackson trying to test his scramble game. Just ends up a little too far straight. He'll have a circles 2 putt.
Mark choosing to go with the backhand now. He had a pretty good kick out, so it allows him this pretty open up shot. Do you have a preference on whether you approach with a forehand or backhand?
I'd try and say that I'd like to let the shot govern what I do. Don't necessarily know that I can't do both. I do like the forehand upshot, especially because I've got a couple different stabilities of Kia. I can throw the ante that just flexes out, or have one hold and try and give it a bid.
I was speaking to some players and they actually like to see the forehand use the forehand as they can just see the basket the whole time and they can keep their eyes on it, whereas sometimes the backhand can get away on you.
Yeah, agreed.
I suppose it comes down to a personal preference. Oh, Mark just off the rim there.
Gave it a good go. Unfortunately, this hole's going to bite a few players.
This is Jacko's first birdie of the round.
Bogey.
Bogey. Sorry, bogey. Way to get me there.
Looks like it's going to be your first. Oh, your second, unfortunately. That's the first putt in which I didn't feel like you had great form and all that. Little nerves on the 7th, or just you put yourself a little too far on your upshot? And
I remember this putt, and it just stuck in the hand.
Yep.
So no real excuse. It just wasn't good.
Do you happen to use a birdie bag or anything like that to put a little talc on your hand, or
need to get it?
Yeah,
need to get one.
Definitely was one of the warmer days on record, especially after all this rain. So
here we go. Hole 8, par 3, 86 meters. So 2 options here. One is you can take the straight here, or you can go a little bit to the right. Both tunnels are super, super, super tight. Requires an accurate shot to penetrate and then finish hard left at the end.
You could just throw like a hyzer flip putter out of the left tunnel, or throw something a little bit more stable with a little bit of anti-pop into that right and have it flex back, eh?
Just not there.
Hey, he kicked back to that second tunnel though, so at least you'll have an open up shot. That right side's pretty gnarly, so pretty sure this is a first run Kia out of Jackson.
Yeah, throwing the putter at it quite smart option really, because even if you hit the tree, you're not going to kick too far. So I like the play.
Does it buzz out of you?
There's a buzz. It's just something that I feel pretty comfortable about throwing straight.
Yeah. Well, you definitely threw it straight. Edge of circle there.
Yeah,
feel pretty good about that one?
Pretty happy about that.
Mark's got a Katuku in the hand. He parks it.
And with the replay, Mark.
Slow-mo replay. Stop.
Let's see how close this is to going in. I think I remember it being... Yeah, we just lost sight of it, I remember, off the tee. So we were
listening.
Yeah.
We were listening.
It's always exciting when the card all stops and just listens. And
nice little roll for Mario out of that one. Great Kia upshot.
I think that was a half run from Jacko.
Yeah, definitely. No, he definitely took his time on that one. And he got the putting prowess back. Make up for that last one. Nice birdie. Mario, one of the he's getting a little back scratch from the pine tree there.
He's such a good sport. He's always smiling on the course, and he's quite jovial.
Yeah, certainly.
I really enjoyed playing with Mario this round.
We had a little insider knowledge, but yeah, the new graphic pointing out that Mark was indeed parking that hole at the Katuku. Pretty sure it was of the Strata or Magma variety.
Once again, the RPM crew getting a read off each other of throwing all the same discs.
Yeah, gotta love it. Last hole on the front 9 here. Short par 3. Really, on this course, there's not too many that are... You can see the basket right off of the tee, so this 85 meters, you really just want to pop a mid-range. Is that what you're doing here? We getting that same buzz? We're going to look at that same buzz?
Same buzz. Trying to do the same thing.
I think it was good that you took a little off of it, but just didn't get it in the air. Pretty sure Mark's doing the same thing again. Didn't make mention of his first birdie of the round. Too busy giving praise to the Katuku, not the man who threw it.
Yeah. What's Mario throwing here?
I'm guessing it was a Huia. It probably would have been a beaten Huia. I think I actually remember asking him. I don't think he wanted to back himself with throwing a mid. So just threw one of his flippier runs of 7-speed.
That's how to play the hole.
Yeah, Jacko went straight up the guts, but I think he'll still be somewhere around 9 meters.
Look at the crew, boys in the disc golf crew.
It was a warm day. Sorry, fans out there for having to spectate the.
It was a hard day in the bag.
State of my body. Yeah. Yeah, you have so many discs and such a large bag. It was a hard hoof.
No hills on the course.
Now you can see this one, yeah. A whole way, giving it a nudge.
Super awkward shot through the tree, and yeah, I think with this course you get lots of awkward looks at the basket, and I think.
But it's so much fun, right? It's so much more fun than being, out in the open or,
I think it's how disc golf should be.
Agreed. Mario giving it a crack. Scowl at that one. Didn't enjoy that bad Ruru.
He'll be thinking he closed the gap on Jackson here, so Jacko back to extend his lead to 3. And he does.
It wasn't much over the face mask the whole way, but in is in. No pictures on the scorecard. Oh goodness! Not only Mario's going to give him 2 on this hole. Frustrato. I don't know if we'll see the same smile on the back nine. Give a shout out to Joel in the background, getting us another angle of your beautiful putt.
Joel Way's doing great things on the catch cam these days, and he is going to be in the next tournament, Taupo.
Yeah, awesome. We're happy to have him back again. Running into this stretch, getting out in front of us.
And that's it for the front 9. Back to dog videos.
You gotta love it. You gotta love it. Who doesn't love dog videos? Yeah, so we're just going to show the full scores here on the right-hand side. Jackson came out to a good start. Unfortunate bogey there. Him and Mario both sort of neck and neck on the front.
And Mark and myself are trailing a bit behind, but we'll be looking to make a push on the back 9 and play some good golf.
Look forward to seeing you guys on the back 9. This beautiful Park Zion. Thanks, we'll see you then.